is this? What exactly is it that radio pluggers do? Because in effect, we know they take the song to the the playlist meetings and try and convince people to get it. So what is it that they actually are doing on behalf of the artist?
Well, radio pluggers and press officers to a similar degree are effectively networkers. They're people that have got really close networks within radio, TV and the press, and they leverage their relationships in order to be able to get the likes of Breakage onto the radio. So with a track like Breakage, we've gone with a radio plugger who we know understands his world and his market. We know has very strong relationships within Radio 1, and we know that those relationships are also with the tastemakers at Radio 1. So we would choose to go with him as a plugger because we feel that he best represents the values of Breakage and is the guy that can go in there and look them in the eye and say, this is a great record, play it. And that doesn't necessarily work if I walk in there, even with a great CV or 30 years in the industry. They don't know me from Adam. How do they know how to trust me? They haven't got time to read my CV. They need to work with people that have got great networks, and so that's what radio pluggers do. And lest anybody thinks, oh, it can all go on the internet, it still doesn't. It's amazing how much actual physical play still counts. So, for argument's sake, when a track gets played on Radio 1, there's instant reaction on iTunes, for argument's sake. I'll give you a really good example. A few years ago I was managing Yusuf Islam, Cat Stevens. So very much a Radio 2, never a Radio 1 guy, very much a Radio 2 guy. The TV programme Skins featured one of Cat Stevens' old songs. I think it was Morning Is Broken. And it was featured heavily on one episode, and it also, I think, featured one of the main actors having to learn the song and then sing it at the end of the episode. So it comes to the end of the episode, the song is sung. The next day the single goes into the top 10 in the UK charts because thousands of kids that have never heard of Cat Stevens before just go out and buy it. And that tells you why real exposure rather than internet exposure, real world analogue as it were exposure, is still really important.
Do you feel that they have actually placed themselves, they're actually responsible for the lack of investment going back into the labels because they actually are, to an extent, price fixing how much you can sell your music for?
Well, it's a really difficult thing, iTunes, because it's such a fantastic service. I use it day in, day out. I can give you legions of stories in certain parts of my job where it's just a massively brilliant tool. But on the other hand, there are parts of it that have caused problems for the industry. They set the price. The industry lost control of pricing. And effectively, they said that the price of an album was 10 times 79p, so it's £7.90. When I left the last record that I released of U2's, I remember our dealer price, that was the price we sold to record stores, was £9.12. And therefore the retail price was about £15. So if you wanted to buy that record, you paid £15. Now, when a U2 record comes out, Amazon are selling it at $6.99, Play.com are selling it at $5.99, so therefore Tesco's react to sell it at $4.99, and the pricing has been lost, control of pricing has been lost to other people, and in particular I think iTunes did play a really big part in that.